With updates on stars and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Mentioning AEW President Tony Khan's reaction to the possibility of Samoa Joe retiring, Ringside News wrote that following Samoa Joe's recent remarks about his likely retirement from professional wrestling, Tony Khan addressed the topic during the media call, where he offered a clear view of Joe's impact on the company. Khan said that Joe is one of the most influential wrestlers of his lifetime and described having him in AEW as a dream. He also looked back on Joe's accomplishments since joining the company. He said that if someone had told him at the start of AEW that Joe would become a multi-time champion and a locker room leader, he would have thought it was too good to be true. Tony Khan had nothing but good things to say about Samoa Joe's earlier work in Ring of Honor, and he highlighted that if AEW ever establishes a Hall of Fame, Joe would be a first ballot pick. Speaking about a potential match between John Cena and The Rock, Kevin Nash noted on his Click This podcast, "Am I the only one that heard a rumor that Rock and Cena were going to be two of his last matches? Do they come together at Survivor Series? I saw something. I came across a feed that said that was going to be an either that or main event, like a Saturday night's main event. And then don't they have a house show at the Garden at the dead end? It doesn't take much to put a package together if Cena's having 2 matches left and The Rock saying, well, I'm one of them." Jay White has been out of action from AEW since March, as he reportedly suffered a hand injury that required surgery. Months later, it was noted that White was even battling a shoulder injury on top of this. White had not made a post on social media in 7 months until now, as he simply asked this question on X: "Ready?" It appears White could be ready to return to the ring, but it remains to be seen what is next for him. Defending the creative decision in WWE to drop his serious Ron Killings character in favor of his R-Truth gimmick, the man himself told CBS Sports it went where it was supposed to. Ron Killings created R-Truth. Those hundreds of millions of fans who spoke and uproared, they wanted R-Truth back. Ron Killings was the rebellious one who spoke up for R-Truth. Ron Killings has been around for years, but people had never come together in lockstep like that. They did that for R-Truth. You feel me? I wanted Ron Killings to go where he was supposed to go. He made a statement, he had eyes on him. When John Cena came back, R-Truth came back. Ron Killings was the cavalry. I think Ron Killings was a selfish type deal, more of a selfish move. I had more than 100 million views that wanted R-Truth. If numbers are real, that was the power of numbers. Taking to X, former WWE star Rhea Ripley addressed her future in pro wrestling, writing, "Looking forward to finding a new wrestling home after baby number 3. Following his release from WWE, BJ Ray, who was on WWE LFG, was the subject of criticism from Booker T, who claimed Ray could not separate his character from reality, acting the same way backstage as he did on screen. Now, Ray has responded to this, writing, "What a journey. I would like to take this moment to address you guys as Braden Jesse Ray. First and foremost, I have to give the glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who had given me this opportunity. Secondly, Lastly, I would like to thank Hunter, Sean, and Matt Bloom, as well as all the WWE coaches and staff that were involved with this entire process. The WWE Performance Center is truly a unique place, filled with many gifted individuals and unlimited support. As soon as I stepped out of my Uber at my WWE tryout, the sexy BJ Ray effect was in full play. I had a strategy upon filming WWE Next Gen to start building one of the most over-exaggerated versions of myself to give the wrestling industry a heel like they've never seen before, and quite frankly, it arguably was one of the greatest rookie runs of all time. In a matter of months, whether hate or love, I won the WWE fans over and they were extremely invested. Without ever having a debut match on live NXT television, I have become one of the most recognized names in the brand and industry, from getting swarmed at WWE World in Las Vegas to taking pictures with fans in every airport I walk into. I have been able to build a movement with my hard work and dedication. The hours behind the scenes, editing social media content, training, and reflecting on my character work, I feel it has all paid off. There have been many challenges along the way, but I can only control what I can control. Obviously, this release is a big bummer, especially when you have no idea what you could have done different. But the only option, in my opinion, is an attitude of gratitude. All I can do is keep pushing and put it in God's hands. I'm healing strong and will continue to rehab my shoulder until I'm 100%. And the biggest shout out and thanks to my fans who made it all worthwhile. And now Braden Jesse Ray is back on sabbatical, and sexy BJ Ray has a few words. As my good friend Conor McGregor once said, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. What you've seen was just the trailer. Get ready for the whole movie. And P.S. Hey yo, you got Snapchat? Recalling his time in WWE and taking part in promo classes, former WWE and current AEW star MVP noted on his Marking Out podcast, I remember when Vince McMahon at WWE was doing promo classes, and certain people, it was mandatory. You had to attend his promo classes, and I remember people were like, you get to go to promo class, but I remember I learned a lot. One of the things Vince said, a promo is a match is a promo. The formula is pretty much the same. He was teaching the promo class, and I remember, right, we all had to have notebooks and take notes, and like everything he was saying, I knew and I understood. So for me, it was just validation, but I remember he looked over and he goes, take more notes. Providing a contract update for a TNA tag team, Ringside News wrote that TNA Wrestling is always going through changes, and it seems that the Knockouts division is seeing a couple big contracts expire. That being said, it is possible that the two sides may continue working together. Sean Ross Sapp reported on Fightful Select that several TNA contracts have recently expired. Among them are the deals of the Inspiration. Cassie Lee and Jess McKay are former WWE superstars and just recently competed on TNA Wrestling side in the Showdown event on NXT. Last week, it was reported that their contracts were nearing expiration, which caught many by surprise given that the duo had just won the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. It will be interesting to see if Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay go somewhere else or if they stay in TNA Wrestling. The Inspiration's deals officially ended after Bound for Glory, but both sides are said to be interested in continuing the partnership. An extension is expected, so fans may not lose them on their television sets right now. If anything, their status as champions might get them more screen time. Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay have reportedly been working under short-term contracts, a structure they are known to prefer. That is interesting, considering their notable name status coming into that deal with TNA Wrestling. As Piper Niven has been sidelined from WWE action since August due to a neck injury, Chelsea Green has addressed her absence, telling Woman's World, "Piper is so valuable to us. We're not just replacing her, but the show goes on. This is Hollywood, baby. And I love to start a storyline on social media and plant the seed, because then the writers can gauge reactions and maybe bring it into their creative meetings. Now it's my turn to make sure that Piper is okay, more so mentally. There's not much I can do physically, but I want to make sure that as she takes that step back, she realizes this is the time to rest, recover, brainstorm new ideas, start a new hobby, and not get in her head. Because, trust me, we get in our heads. We have all watched each other go through injuries. The girls took care of me when I broke my collarbone in India almost 10 years ago. They washed my hair, packed my bags, took me to the airport, got me on a plane home. Everyone looks at me like I'm the leader, but we know within the group that this is all make-believe. I'm not the real leader, and that's fun. It also helps that Piper and Alba are my friends, and we have mutual respect for each other. They are always way more advanced in wrestling than I am. After Seth Rollins was attacked by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Rollins' wife Becky Lynch reacted to this on X, writing, "I'm gone for 1 week." Omos added, "My services are available." Becky then replied with a thinking emoji. Rollins was seemingly written off of WWE programming after suffering a shoulder injury during his match at Crown Jewel against Cody Rhodes, as he is expected to undergo surgery and be out of action for up to a year. Responding to CM Punk complaining about fans following him in airports and to hotels, former WWE star Marty Jannetty said this to Hannibal TV when asked if modern wrestlers are just too sensitive about fan interactions. "Of course, but it was different for me. I loved being on the road. In fact, there were times I was hurt and wouldn't take time off. Vince McMahon had to come to me once and say, 'Marty, I know your 70% is better than most people's 100%, but I need you at 100%. Take some time off. Your job will be here.' When you came into the hotel, especially if fans were there, especially if they were girls, you saw fans everywhere. We were pretty popular at that time. You'd see them at restaurants, convenience stores. That's part of the life. I know it can be a drag sometimes, but come on. To have people waiting at a hotel for you? That's unacceptable. Don't bother us. That's our personal time. When you go on the road for wrestling, there is no personal time. And Vince has told us that. You're representing 24 hours a day when you're on the road. And you kind of really are. At SmackDown, a fan had his "Paige Come Home" sign confiscated by security. Former WWE star Paige reacted to this, writing, "You make my day. Thank you for showing so much love with these signs." Taking to Instagram, Zoe Stark, who has been out of action from WWE due to a knee injury suffered on May 19th, said this in an update on her recovery.
What's up, guys? Just wanted to hop on here and give everyone a quick update. In the last video, one of the reasons why I was having a hard time was because I was told that either I would have to get a scope done, which is where they go in, clean out my knee and scar tissue, or two, get a manipulation under anesthesia. And one of the reasons being is because I didn't have full range of motion, and that would have pushed my recovery back, and that's why I was so upset and having a really hard time with it. But now we're back on track. That did not have to happen, thank God. Now I'm running, I'm jumping, I have full range of motion. Things are going great, honestly. I'm happy, I'm blessed. I really, really can't wait to get back into the ring and get back to you guys. So that's all. Stark, out.
WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi had to undergo an emergency procedure, with a source telling PW Insider that it was a health issue that came up suddenly for the 60-year-old. At this time, there are no other details. ECW founder Todd Gordon was hospitalized, with this statement coming from his family. "We wanted to share that Todd Gordon is currently in the hospital and has been for some time. If you've reached out and haven't heard back, please know he's not ignoring anyone. He's just focusing on his health right now. While he is unable to receive visitors, we appreciate all your love, support, and prayers during this time. Please keep him in your thoughts." Going over why Chris Jericho has not been on AEW programming, Sean Ross Sapp noted on a Fightful Select Q&A, Chris Jericho has simply been off TV. That's it. His contract isn't up for a number of months, and it was time for him to be off television for a while, and that's what happened. Tony Khan still loves Jericho and would like to see him back. Providing an update on her health, Tiffany Stratton wrote this on social media. "Haven't been able to work out in 2 weeks because I've been ill, but we back with a nasty leg day." During WWE's tour of Japan, Rhea Ripley was seemingly hurt during a match as Bryan Alvarez confirmed she suffered a broken nose. Now, Ripley is taken to Instagram to show off pictures of the injury. Speaking about reports of WWE using a 1-year non-compete clause for Andrade, who was fired from the company and returned to AEW, Stevie Richards noted on his show, "A 1-year non-compete, though, man, that's beyond the pale, especially when we still argue to this day, are they independent contractors or are they employees? They are independent contractors when it's convenient for WWE, they're employees when it's even more convenient for WWE. WWE wants to abuse this clause whenever they want to, especially with Andrade. What constitutes just cause? What if somebody refuses to do a storyline that's against their morals or character? WWE could call that insubordination and use it to ban them for a year. Can this be manipulated by the company? Oh, absolutely. Everybody manipulates this type of morality clause in the NFL. If you send out a tweet or anything happens that they don't like, they can suspend you or ban you. This makes the professional wrestling contract somehow, and I didn't think it was possible, even more one-sided in favor of the promoter and not the talent. If Andrade even wanted to do MMA, he's not allowed to do that. It encompasses anything combat, sport, or even entertainment. Say you wanted to be an action star, isn't that considered a mix between entertainment and combat sports? It's obviously set up so that in 3 months in the wrestling universe, you lose a lot of steam. So they do not want you going to a competing promotion. That actually, in itself, shows they want to protect the competition from capitalizing on any steam, push, or momentum that a talent had in WWE. At AEW Wrestle Dream, Jon Moxley shoved Darby Allin's head into a fish tank. As former coach for the promotion, Sarah Stock replied, "You know who should stop this? Mothers, with their remote control. This is worse than the plastic bag over the head. Kids are going to end up dead trying this stuff at home." Staying on the topic of Andrade, this was said regarding his status by Ringside News. Andrade El Idolo's AEW return earlier this month was supposed to kick off a major storyline with the Don Callis family, but instead it's been nothing but legal drama and confusion. First, reports claim WWE enforced a surprise non-compete clause, then word spread that Andrade might be locked into a contract issue, keeping him out for up to a year. Now his latest move has only deepened the mystery. history. According to Fightful Select, Andrade was scheduled to wrestle for WWC in Puerto Rico, including a Universal title match, but despite being at the show, he won't actually compete. One of the bookings that Andrade scheduled before his legal situation with WWE started was WWC in Puerto Rico. Fightful Select can confirm that Andrade is in fact in Puerto Rico at the show, but isn't working the scheduled match for the WWC Universal title. We are told that he was doing whatever else he could to make good for the booking. This comes amid reports that Andrade is somehow still under WWE contract following his termination, a situation being called very confusing. That technicality could explain why he wasn't able to step into the ring in Puerto Rico, even though he still showed up for the event. AEW has kept quiet publicly on the matter, but what's clear is that Andrade's big return has been stalled again. With WWE clauses in play, AEW's legal oversight being questioned, and Andrade stuck in limbo, fans are left wondering if he'll even be able to wrestle for AEW in the near future. After returning to WWE and winning the US title on SmackDown, ILJA DRAGUNOV has been accused of cheating on his wife, with a user on X writing, "This is your hero, who cheated on his wife with Gentala and got the US title for it." NXT star Gentala replied, "His ex-wife and I are on amicable terms. They have a healthy co-parenting relationship. They are divorced. I won't stand for defamation, so cut out your factitious assumptions." Liv Morgan's former stalker is resurfaced online. In case you forgot, a man by the name of Armando Alejandro Montalvo would appear randomly at the WWE Performance Center years ago, with him even being shot outside the PC by police in August of 2015. Recently, he made a very bizarre video aimed at Liv Morgan, referencing her arrest in 2023, making toilet jokes and quoting the Bible. After this was reported on by Ringside News, Montalvo responded to the outlet on Facebook with a video. Here's the clip.
I was kind of hoping that you would have been able to provide a better quality picture of Liv Morgan, considering how hot she really is. But considering the fact she was actually stalking me and following me around, there's not much more that I could really do, because if she has a crush on me, there's not much more I could really do yet. Believe in Jesus.
And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.